Hello everybody and welcome to DotaPit Season 4 by G2A. I'm W1, this is Capitalist, and we are here to cover our one and only series for the night.
Yep, I thought we were having two series tonight because
Sorry
I'm
to
dumb.
disappoint you, Cap. It's only one.
Yeah.
But
I was looking at the wrong day.
It's our wonderful two-style team, Stark.
Uh-huh. So, essentially, Toby, if this was not a group stage and this was an actual, playoff bracket, this would be the lower bracket where one of the teams gets knocked out, because we're looking at the two losers of yesterday. Power Rangers lost to Stark lost to Empire, and Power Rangers lost to Hellraisers. Correct. So,
yeah. But luckily for Stark, they did still take a 2-0 victory early in the competition, so they're still up there at the top of the board. But it looks like our draft is getting fully underway. It's
Radiant team
goodbye to the Chen, goodbye to the imbalanced Druid, as well as Zeus and Brood.
I see. Okay. I don't know if Stark are doing themselves a favor or if they're doing Power Rangers a favor by banning away Zeus, because not only did Power Rangers lose to Hellraisers yesterday, Power Rangers also just lost in We Play, which Durka was covering, to Empire at a best of one. It's not terribly surprising.
Remaining.
Empire looked stronger than I thought.
5
But
seconds remaining.
General played Zeus and went straight from Arcane Boots to
Reserve
Dagon
time.
5.
Sven
Say
stands
what?
ready.
Exactly.
Radiant team banned.
Now, the theory being he was facing up against a Death Prophet, and in order to kill Death Prophet, Toby, you need max nukes. But that was...
You could also...
not surprisingly, it was real bad.
You could
It was real bad,
You
apparently.
could also just get a lens and kill Death Pro from outside of range of her ultimate, and
5 seconds.
Yeah, or go
remaining.
Veil of Discord.
Yep,
You know, there's
that's also good.
There's a lot of different ways to get burst damage out of the
Dire
Zeus,
team
but
Yep, that's a little odd.
yeah, add in the fact that they were facing an Oracle and Omni Knight, and you know, that just makes the Dagon conceivably even worse.
It's just, what's that? Is that a repelled prob?
I guess you can't do anything.
Well, this, I'll watch, I guess.
Yeah.
Zeus buys diffuser blade, just for that reason.
So, Stark. Okay, they get the Sven. Not terribly surprising.
10
I should have guessed that
seconds
with the Wisp pickup.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is still going to be that they need to
Dire
make sure that the
team
Invoker
back.
doesn't get too far ahead. But I
Dire
like
team
Wisp
pick.
Sven a lot right now. Sven is one of the better carries. Wisp is able to stack Ancients for you, so you may not even have to go for the Helmet Dominator build, though you may still, just for the stats. It's a really efficient item.
Radiant
The other
team
problem which Stark could be having right now is because you're looking at the Power Rangers line up. Like, yeah, I'm liking this event pickup myself, but the reason why, like, you could also see Team Empire walk all over PR is because they played the push lineup, and everyone's just been moving towards this Chen. It's the big Nature's Prophet army of trees and just force down the lane. Stark needs some D push, and they can't just rely on having this event at the front line,
10
just
seconds
cleaving up the
remaining.
wave, even when you do have a Wisp behind them in order to do so. But there's still another 3
5
heroes, so
seconds
there's a lot of
remaining.
options for them. But that's where I'm wondering now, like, how does Stark GG make themselves space in the
Reserve
lanes
time.
and the jungle for this event to farm?
I'm also kind of interested if they're going to be doing a dual lane mid. With
You
that
actually
Wisp.
run a Wisp Ven mid up against the Invoker?
It's not necessarily that they'll beat Invoker, but they'll probably do better than any other single hero that goes up against Invoker, unless they put DP mid. They put Death Prophet mid, they put Obsidian Devourer, or whatever the hell his name is, Outworld Devourer,
Outworld
excuse
Devourer.
me. They put him mid, they can conceivably beat the Invoker. And the reason I have so much emphasis on trying to shut down the Invoker is because I feel like he's going to be a very dangerous hero for any Wisp lineup. It's very easy for him to blow up the Wisp. I think he has really good potential to kite the Sven. Sven very clearly needs to go for BKB this game. Can't afford to go it too late. We saw that build yesterday where it was like straight into the Daedalus and AC before BKB was picked up.
Yeah. That was a very specific build for that person, though.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see Sven's try and get greedy where they go Helmet Dominator, S and Y, and like maybe they get Crystallis, maybe they complete the Daedalus before going BKB, but it's pretty rare. It's oftentimes Helmet Dom, S and Y, Blink, BKB, and then go from there. Treant Protector is a weird one. A good disable versus Sven, but Stark immediately recognizing that Power Rangers have no good disables against Ember Spirit at this point.
There's no silence, there's no direct lockdown. Like, you're right, like, you've got the tree and ulti, but where's your stance, where's your control?
Yeah, this means that Nature's Prophet or Invoker will have to go for an Orchid build. It seems maybe more likely that we'll have to see like a Crosswick style Orchid build out of the Invoker.
But if you have a Crosswick style, you won't have enough damage to kill off the Ember Spirit when you get him caught out. Because you don't have enough time and lockdown.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you've got pretty good right-click damage with the Orchid build. I don't know.
Carry tree with Radiance on safe lane.
You know what would be great right now for Stark, actually? They need an offlaner. I would love to see a Nyx Assassin here. You're up against 2 intelligence cores. I feel like no matter what the build is for an Invoker, Nyx Assassin is pretty good against him. Blitz has kind of disagreed with me on this. He doesn't feel like the mana burn is that good, but I think that Invoker is like always going to get levels, and if he gets one item, no matter what that item is, it usually pushes him over 100 intelligence, which means you're easily doing anywhere from 300 to 500 damage nukes.
How much mana do you really burn with that, like that level 4 mana burn?
I mean, it's a good chunk of mana, but it's also just like the burst damage that is dealt to the Invoker. It is very threatening for most heroes. But it's a great hero for catching out the Nature's Prophet as well, right? It's going to be able to sneak around Invis and go for him. You've got some pretty obvious damage that can be reflected back by Spike Carapace. Part of the problem with the Nyx Assassin is that you still can be blown up by the Invoker combination, because Spike Carapace only will protect you from 1 instance of damage, and Invoker, his damage is not, while it is super, super bursty, it has the great effect of being spread out in multiple instances. So Meteor, for example, constant instances of damage being dealt. Another example would be Cold Snap, right? Constant instances. So there's many things that that essentially you're not going to be able to block, like the main source of damage, so you're going to get popped anyway. Morphling. Huh? Is that a hero? I mean, I played a pub with a Morphling earlier.
We had some Morphlings in the Southeast Asian region. I think we actually had some Morphlings earlier on in DotaPit in the European division. But it's... Sorry, in the North American division. This...
10 seconds remaining.
His damage is not too bad. I'm not minding the split push options that Morphling opens up. Potentially, you could also, like, 'cause he does have a stun, but he has to be Agi morphed.
Yeah.
Because he's the only real physical damage counter. He can always escape the Sven. Or should always be able to escape the Sven.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, pretty much all Morphlings are coming out of, like, North America, China, and then the occasional Southeast Asia. So, it's pretty weird for me.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes, though. It is a hero that will be able to deal pretty damn well with a Sven, not necessarily bursting down, but it just probably won't be locked down long enough. The Sand King last choice for Stark.
Prepare for battle.
It's agreeable. The Nyx Assassin pickup, I'm less of a fan when the Morphling was grabbed. Just because of the fact that you're unlikely to burst him down.
I'm just a fan of having Trixie on this SK when there's only going to be 2 things that really pull him out of Sandstorm. Like, unless they bring in Dust and Sentries to commit to the Sand King.
Yeah.
You basically got Overgrowth and you got Tornado.
I'm sure they will be bringing those. You can see, this is fairly common for supports nowadays. They go out to lane as soon as possible with a minor amount of regen, like Bignum has done.
Yep.
And then they hold off on seeing, where the offlane hero is he bringing a ward, did he place it, and that'll determine whether you get counters or if you get dust, or maybe you need neither and you can actually get boots first. obviously this is a scenario where they do want to get counters.
You notice his ward position too. This reminds me of the PR ward they tried to plan on bottom lane before. Like it's very deep down inside the lane. Except that was on the aggro lane. This is very defensive. Like, what do you really achieve with this ward? Like this is one of the questions. Like I've seen this ward a couple of times by a dire side team. Like you see down the lane, sure. But it only sees the edge of the river. Why wouldn't you just throw it a little bit over to the side near the camp so you could see the rotation up through the river? Or a little bit further to the east?
So there's a couple reasons that this ward is used. And they're very specialized. So one is to make sure that you don't get spotted while you're warding. So that's one. And two is to make sure they both serve the same purpose, that you don't get countered. Right, so if you get seen warding, you're going to get countered. But if you throw a more traditional ward, if you throw it anywhere in this like typical box, that's the laning ward area. Unfortunately, you can't see it during pause time, but it's by the entrance of the river plus entrance into the jungle. That is very likely to get countered if an offlaner brings a counter ward to lane, which Sand King definitely will. The reason Sand King does is because he wants to try and take away your counter ward that you're going to use to pressure the Sand King. So he goes ahead, he sandstorms, you counter ward, he counter wards, and then he eats your counter ward real quickly with the tango.
At the same time, like with the positioning here, like where that observer ward is, if Trixie decides to go for the sandstorm, sit inside the lane build, and not go for the caustic finale, he's probably going to sit around this area where he'll probably then sentry ward to make sure there's not a sentry there, and he'll grab that ward anyway.
Yeah, I mean it very well could be. I don't really agree with the ward too much, but
yeah, it's just one of those wards because like
I think people are trying to be a lot more careful with where they ward nowadays, considering the large amount of experience you get from killing wards. You know, it's 100 experience, it's 50 gold. It's a pretty good chunk for an offlaner or supports to get that.
Well, Trixie missed it. He put the sentry ward a little bit too shallow. Are you looking down towards the bottom lane as well?
Yeah, he almost screwed up the tree, and it was like trying to go down that single pathway. But, I mean, in the end, Stark were right. They managed to put the ward where Trixie wouldn't see it.
Yeah. Kind of seems a little shallow for Trixie's ward.
I mean, I agree with you in premise of what you're talking about. It looks like he probably tried to get, like, both the best world, right? Where he covers the potential laning ward plus covers any area where the counter ward could be. And just kind of ends up missing out.
There was no ping there from Big Num, so I don't know if he saw it, like, because their observer ward saw Trixie put the ward down, or at least see it disappear from his inventory straight away. So that's something Big Num should be aware of, and this will allow Trixie to just play this top lane so aggressively as the SK, because again, like, there's no stuns here. Like, as a Morphling as well as a Tree and Protector, they're not going to be able to control Trixie at all, so he can just keep doing this. And when he hits a second level up, okay, now they're going to drop the sentry ward. They actually dropped 2 sentries, so they got rid of the observer ward and they're able to zone him out of the lane. But that's a lot of money committed, and Trixie going on the run. Have they got enough damage to the Leech Seed recovery coming into the tower? No, he does not.
Well, if Trixie... I'm not sure about this caustic finale.
Regeneration.
Instead of Burrow Strike?
Yeah, I think Burrow Strike is the goal. I don't know. I guess we'll find out as the lane goes forward. Obviously, if he died there, Burrow Strike should have been the pickup.
He's going to be okay. So General actually used one of his Ironwood branches, so he made a happy tree and then devoured it. While Nymphy was initiating on him.
Oh yeah, really nice. He probably figured, I'm going to live, and might as well get some efficiency out of one of the shared tangos he has. Because that change actually makes the makes it so certain mids can get really greedy with their item build. Most of the time you're given 2 shared tangos and you'll have to buy some extra regen of your own. Most mids say bottle in order to, you know, continue the laning phase past like 3 or 4 minutes. But with this, combined with the fact that Invoker is a hero that doesn't get bottle, general, like, Invokers are able to play it really greedy and just go straight for stat items as fast as possible because of the efficiency of the shared Tango with an Ironwood branch. Cheshire Cat is getting, I mean, he's just full-time jungling at this point in time. He's no longer trying to like pull the creep wave or anything.
Is under attack.
He does need to TP in to collect some of his experience at bottom lane. Doesn't seem too eager to put himself in that position. It's in now, but he's a bit too late. Oh, nice interrupt with the pull at the bottom lane. Treant. Oh no! The one little Treant wasn't enough. Valix is able to connect the pull. And that means Furion just has to find something else to do. I guess it's going
coming
mid.
to mid. He throws a Treant out from the tree line, which should be noticed by Stark. And in fact, now he's going to TP forward, but there's no Sprout control available. So it's going to try and find the physical damage into Io. But OKC up the hill. He's losing a lot of damage from the Cold Snap, but doesn't get hit by the Tornado. And that allows the Searing Chains from Nemphy to buy a little bit more space.
If they can quickly get that bottom rune, it'll be still a good play. Because they will have prevented the Wisp from refilling the bottle, and that'll lose some time. Because then the Wisp has to go back to lane rather than staying in lane with that sustain, and also won't be stacking. So it's actually, you know, a decent move even if you don't get that kill. But still got the double damage at bottom lane, so OKC can stick around. General's still fighting it out though in that mid lane. Nemphy's going to be able to get some backup from OKC. Oh my god! He went down to 10 HP off of that wave of terror. If only Nemphy had perhaps gotten a little bit luckier on some of his right clicks or gotten a bit more flame guard damage, that could have been a very upsetting kill in that mid lane, taking down General's Invoker.
So I apologize for the weird overlapping overlays here that we've got going on. We don't understand why it's actually happening.
It's all the same.
But we'll get it fixed for next game. Luckily, it's not too invasive.
Is our streaming software being a nuisance again?
It is. It is.
Nice little stack going on here in the Radiant safe lane near mid. You can see him pinging it out right now. Sven's going to go farm that pretty soon. He actually got Warcry level 2, not sure why. Most Svens only get Warcry level 1, 2 levels of Stormhammer, and start maxing out speed from there.
Yeah, because it's not as though like he's under any real pressure.
Yeah.
Like, Trixie's gonna... okay, he's not gonna come under any pressure. Not when he's got Sandstorm. J4 can't do anything about it. In fact, they want to try and initiate in. Trixie needs a little bit more movement speed to get close enough to J4. And just a defensive...
Yeah, if Trixie played that perhaps a little bit more bravely, he didn't need to sit in the Sandstorm as long as he did. They could have caught J4 there. They could have hit the Burrow Strike sooner, and then they would have followed up with the Chains from Nemphy. It would have been a First Blood, by the way. We still have yet to see First Blood, so, you know, even a small pick off on a support does mean a lot for either one of these two teams. Oh, sorry. Trixie is farming that hard camp. I should have known it.
Blink Dagger.
Yeah, I was thinking like, oh, that's like a nice like jumping point for the Sven to go farm. You know, to go from the hard camp, you know, boost up to that Helmet Dominator or whatever he gets, and then go
Radiant's
straight
top
to
tower
Ancients
is under attack.
a few minutes later. But
Radiant structures are
obviously
fortified.
Trixie is farming.
Gotta
Dyer's
prioritize
bottom
that off
tower
laner.
is under attack.
Trixie's initiation is still so important. Not just that, but also the levels. Because now he cracks level 5. But he actually goes the third point up in Sandstorm. So it's like he's going to commit a little bit more towards just having that lane
Dyer's
presence.
structures are
But top lane,
fortified.
the pressure's already coming in. So Cheshire Cat TP's up. And Power Rangers will
Radiant's
try and
top
beat
tower
into that
is
tier
under
1
attack.
tower.
Dyer's bottom
I'm surprised they're
tower is
not
under
defending
attack.
that bottom lane better. I guess they're just making the trade-off, but we'll talk about it
Radiant's
as
top
time
tower.
goes.
Dyer's
Trixie's not going to be
bottom
caught by
tower
anything.
has fallen.
It's the power of the Train Protector to be able to save these tier 1 towers. If they had drawn any of the aggro of the creeps away from that tower when Stark were pushing, and then they
Radiant's
throw
top
down Living
tower is
Armor
under
when it's
attack.
just the Sven and the support Vengeful Spirit hitting it, I think you definitely keep that tier 1 alive. But if the creep wave stays on it, there's not much point of throwing down a Living Armor just because the damage instances get taken out so quickly.
So every tier 1 tower that drops power range is like... They can't afford to lose this position as well when you go up against a hero like a Wisp as well as an Ember. Like, these guys are going to start to dominate the entire map. It's the global control that they both provide.
Oh, gross.
What?
Bignum has an Iron Talon.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean...
Efficiency of the Treant Protector. It already hits like a truck.
I just don't like it. I just don't like the item so much.
Why? It's
it's
such a great farming item.
I know, it's too efficient. I just don't like seeing it.
You hate it from the other side of the fence. You hate it when it's used against you.
Nah, I mean, I don't even like it, like, for example, the offlane position. Like, the offlane is turning into, like, it's going back into abandoned lane and jungle, you know? And I am not a big fan of that. It's just, it doesn't work to my playstyle. Nor do I like supports who buy an Iron Talon and, you know, spend their time AFK farming.
I hate to tell you, Cap, though, it's a way to ensure that your supports get farm. Like, that's...
Yeah.
It's a huge thing for them. So you never... Like, these under-leveled supports that you have, like with an Iron Talon, it doesn't happen as much. Nymphy gonna miss his jump onto General.
I don't know what that was, but I think he kind of jumped the gun there. He didn't throw his spirit very far, his fire remnant.
He's also got no point up in Sleight of Fist, so without that, he, like, kind of the easy jump to get General.
Mech is going to be the build for Cheshire Cat, so we should be seeing an Orchid on General. And that was already kind of obvious because we
Look at it go!
Boss Wex build. No levels of Exor yet. I think the Quaswex build is also more beneficial against dual lanes, if I'm thinking about it, because the EMP is so nice to have. And Tornado is such a good defensive ability to throw out when they try and go in. So I think this build kind of checks all of these boxes. Good against the dual lane. Will offer a lot of control against these heroes, which is important. And obviously the Orchid is a necessity against this Ember Spirit. And they are not slowing down this Orchid by any means at all. 63 and 28 right now on General, hasn't died at all. Granted, their Sven is getting total free farm and would be well ahead of everyone else in network, but I worry about the impact of the Ember Spirit if he keeps on getting pressured by General like this. First blood and maybe a second one on OKC, but
He needs more damage for it. Without any points up in Exort, he can't even go for the Sunstrike, but the fact you do have a Quaswex Invoker that just managed to get a pick up on the Ember, an unfavorable Spirit position.
that's one of the latest First Bloods I've ever seen, by the way.
Almost 11 minutes.
Yeah, almost 11-minute First Blood. That's insane.
And now they're looking towards Boogie. Recovery's rotating over with Tornado EMP. Just missing the timing on that a little bit more. But they find Varlix out of position. Recovery, he's still got the waveform. Actually going forward as Nevi runs over for J4. They'll make a quick replicate, allowing Recovery to go a little bit more aggressive with that safety, that escape mechanism. He's going to find Boogie. Ah, nice waveform. Actually dodges the Stormbolt to ensure the kill.
Oh wow, that's well played. Because if you do it too early, then Stormbolt isn't even used.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So well played by that Morphling. I kind of forgetting to keep my eye on Morphling and what his build is, and how he's going to play out this game. Right now he's just got Treads, Ring of Aquila, nothing too extraordinary.
You do actually wonder what he wants to go for.
Yeah, is he going to go for the Ethereal Blade build?
I'm wondering if that's even going to be...
Radiant structures are
Well, it's probably going to be necessary. Because you still want to like stop the Sven from attacking. You're still looking for that burst damage. VS as well as Wisp will be very exposed to that kind of thing, but it's... At the same time, like, you'd almost prefer him to go for a little bit more stats and just go into that hard carry role. For now, he gets the easy pick off over on the Wisp. You do have the follow-up Stormbolt.
Dire's bottom tower
Unless she
is under
cancelled the
attack.
TP, the Ember Spirit didn't complete it. So he's stuck on bottom lane. Like, he'll finish up his trades and buy up a new TP, but he can't cover defense. But it looks like PR aren't going to force the issue.
I think that's okay. I think they really need this Ember Spirit to be farming solo. I'm just going to mention that the dual lane didn't work out very well to the Ember Spirit because the Wisp spent so much time in lane sharing the Ember Spirit's experience that he ends up being rather underleveled. As you were talking about earlier, you know, no levels of Sleight of Fist cost him a potential kill earlier. And that's just a product of being underleveled, not necessarily being underfarmed.
Well, Nemphy going to be sent up and towards the air with the cold snap. You're taking all the mana out of him, and Nemphy's got no way out. Power Rangers rotations just working too well, and Stark keeps getting called out of position. And now they're going to lose their tier 1 tower in the bottom lane for that. This all tier 1 tower is gone.
Radiant structures
Stark.
are fortified.
Yeah, they're still trying to find more farm, but they don't have the initiation to really do anything about it.
Oh, Bingham's going to be caught as well. Stark are just...
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They found something small, I guess, but they're still getting destroyed. They have to make something big happen with this Trixie Blink Dagger, because this Orchid's going to come in another like 2 minutes for General, and then he just ruins Nemphy.
It's not just that too, it's the fact that Power Rangers don't have to give up anything anymore. Stark aren't pushing quick enough. So this top tower and mid tower, like Power Rangers let the bottom tower go and we're both scratching our heads like, why would you do this with a Tree and Protector? Then now they can just establish map control because Stark don't have enough power to push, and Trixie gets caught in the tree line. He'll Burrow Strike away, that tornado flying in. Trixie will end up dodging it, then blinking away to safety. As Buki will arrive on the front lines.
Are fortified.
But this is a pretty damn big creep wave.
Radiant's bottom tower
Like, this would be wonderful
is
for
under
Nemphy
attack.
if he had a Battle Fury, but he's so far away from it.
Radiant's
So they easily take out the tier 2 tower.
I'm trying to think if he should have gone Boots. No, he's got a Wisp. You should never go Boots, by the way. Have a Wisp on your team. I was thinking like Nemphy needs to do a lot of split pushing right now. Between the Orchid and the fact that they've got a Wisp on their team, he can't really do much. What they're going to have to do here is Nemphy's going to have to like push out the top lane or push out the bottom lane really hard with a Wisp sitting very far behind him, hiding, and just hope that the Invoker goes on him and they're able to relocate him out in time and kind of
Roshan has
rinse and
fallen
repeat
to the
that.
dark.
Recovery's build is pretty interesting.
So what's he got? He's going to go into a BKB then.
Yeah, Yasha BKB.
It seems a little odd, but at the same time, like, there is nothing that will go through BKB that really interrupts it. Because, like, what are you looking at? Swap? He's a Morphling.
Yeah, BKB is the interesting part, but if...
I kind of feel like
I
he's,
mean,
like,
the Yasha's
he's
probably
looking to be the sponge. Like, that's got to be it. Like, he just moves to the front lines, takes the battle, relocates coming up to top lane as the swap. Well, pull him out. General still got the living armor. Recovery with the jump over. Okay, Seeger's going to drop the Wisp, already down the silence, and J4, the paralyzing cast, did so much work from him. There's the
Holy
Death
cow.
Ward damage that just rips through this Ven. Warcry or not.
Radiant's top
Trixie
tower
will come
is
back in
under
for the Burrow Strike, but now living armor. Bottle up quickly. Recovery going to have that tower. He actually waveforms forward towards Trixie, who will end up popping, and then the mech from the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, that's the
Heals
power
up
of
all the damage done.
the maxed out morph strength, by the way, or morph agility. He just so quickly,
Radiant's top
goes
tower has
from,
fallen.
oh, you stunned me while I'm an agility hero and I'm low, and then boom, 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 just beefs up real quickly so they can't finish the job.
Well,
You're
now
good.
Power Rangers, they just get to push. Take the last remaining out of tower, because what's really going to stop
Radiant's
this?
middle tower is
If
under
Stark
attack.
initiate, they end up dying. You have an SK who's alive now, so potentially you could initiate with the Epicenter, but it's a level 1 Epicenter. The chance of it doing enough damage
Radiant's
to have
middle
like a
tower
big
has
impact
fallen.
is low. And now the BKB is actually done for recovery. They'll fly out in the courier in a moment. Big Num's also just over, like he's 1,200 gold away from having his Aghanim Scepter on that Tree and Protector. General makes so much space with that.
This could be the new build on Morphling.
Yasha into BKB. Oh, look at the Strength Morph. And then the Replicate out.
I'm checking out some games and I'm like looking at some item builds from people and seeing when they built BKB and when they didn't, because we are seeing like a decent number of people actually buying BKB on Morphling. The reason, you know, you and I haven't seen it too much is, again, most of it's been in China or North America.
It just does seem like one of those odd builds, because normally the Morphling, like, is just so damn strong with stats. I'm also...
Yeah, you usually just go, like, Manta, Lincolns, maybe an Ethereal Blade. Like, the build is kind of set on most Morphlings nowadays, but...
Is Recovery going to lose his Aegis to... No, he's tread switching it out. And then morphing. He's switching to Intel Treads to give him enough... is he almost using this like an armlet?
Yeah, it kind of is. Weird.
Dire's
And then they
middle
give
tower is under
him
attack.
living armor. But he's had his BKB for the last minute and a bit, and it's still not coming out in the courier. The courier's been ferrying everyone else their items. Yeah, that looks like an armlet. With the way he's never too low to farm. He's gonna go straight back to base now. They've only got a small amount of time left on this Aegis the Immortal. It's about a minute and a half now. In fact, it's not even that. It's a minute and 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So if they're going to do something, then PR should be looking to do it now. But what are you going to achieve? Like, you can go out and get a gank, but in the space of a minute, you're not going to be able to push high ground onto Stark. So all you can do is gank. They do at least have the vision inside the Radiant jungle, but they don't see the smoke movement from Stark.
It's a smart idea by Stark to smoke from their base, essentially, because they know it's very likely that Power Rangers have some good aggressive vision, and they desperately need a pickoff. They need to find General while he's looking for a pickoff, and I think they've got him. Let's see if it's fast enough, though.
You're going to find out in a moment. EMP Tornado causes so many problems. Trixie can't get the epicenter off properly, and now they can just go in for the extra damage. The Death Wall is doing a lot of work from J4. Boogie is trying to get rid of him, but when its men can't even kill off a Witch Doctor, you know there's problems. 3 heroes down for the price of a Witch Doctor. Trixie goes in to his Sandstorm. His General got Tornado, he's got Cold Snap, he's got EMP in 6 seconds, but Trixie will blink away to safety. That seemed like the perfect initiation there from Stark, and they still have a 3-1 trade.
Yeah, is it just me? Like, I don't think the fight was going to work out anyway, but is it just me, or it seemed like Stark are just, like, not on the same page a lot of the times?
Radiant's
Like, at
middle
that top
tower
fight,
is
when they
under
went for
attack.
General around that tier 2, there was, like, the stun and the relocate in, but then Vengeful Spirit also swapped.
Radiant's
So the
top
relocate,
tower
they
is
weren't,
under
like, in
attack.
immediate range of the Invoker.
Cheshire Cat's in trouble. Nature's Prophet. Oh, he's in way too deep. General couldn't help him there, and Stark do find one quick pickoff. But you're right, like now you trigger a drum charge like you're about to chase after General, and they don't go.
Too late, though. That hero is just too damn fast with the Quaswex build. And he's going to have Aghanims pretty damn soon.
Has that tree protect? Okay, so he is actually this camp away from having it. You can pick up the bounty rune in the bottom river. When that Aghanims comes up, I'm really concerned for Stark. Like, for a team that's not really showing up on the same page, they're going to be watched all across the map.
Another scenario where perhaps a bit miscommunication.
Look at
Trixie
it go.
just jumps in too early as the Sand King stunning up the Morphling. I think he probably didn't intend to really try and kill the Morphling there, because Valix was a bit too late to get the follow-up stun. But still, you know, if the Morphling makes a slight mistake, doesn't start morphing strength in time, and you're able to chain stun him down like that, get a quick kill. I think it's worth waiting the 2 extra seconds that Trixie could have waited, just to get that chain stun and kind of see what happens. Who knows? Maybe you force out a BKB charge.
I'll take your tribute.
Say hello to the Aghanims. It is up. The vision will be everywhere. Cheshire Cat, however, Trixie does manage to find him. They're relocating in for this, but then drum charge from Cheshire Cat and the living arm will protect him. J4 is ready. The paralyzing cask and now the following up Death Ward. Boogie locked inside the Sprout, and the paralyzing cask causing a little bit of problems, and now Trixie, he'll jump in. There's not enough damage to get him all. In fact, Trixie now isolates himself out by doing what he did. They drop down the Sentry Ward. The Ember Spirit, wait, did he get... Okay,
Yeah.
he got picked off on the bottom.
He got Quaswex invokered.
Dire's middle
Ran in
tower
with Ghost
is under
Walk,
attack.
orchid him up, throw down Cold Snap, and just right-click him down. Ember
painful
Spirit.
experience.
Yeah, he's super squishy if you can get a solid
Radiant's
silence on
bottom
him and a
tower
lot
is
of
under
physical
attack.
damage. This is the thing, that the Clawsterwick's Invoker reaches a lot of physical damage.
Radiant's bottom tower
He gets a
has
lot of
fallen.
damage out of the Orchid.
Radiant's
you see
top
he's hitting
tower is
already
under
for over
attack.
180 per hit, but it's also his attack speed, right?
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
And this game looks like it's over right now.
Radiant's bottom
Yeah, it really
barracks
is.
has
Power
fallen.
Rangers are taking this bottom right. It's like the
Radiant
SK's coming
structures
up, so at least they got
are
their stun back. And Boogie does have a PKB for this fight. There's no big ultis left for Power Rangers. They do actually have the Overgrowth, and maybe that's going to be it. Cheshire Cat almost killed off once again. He's 5 seconds away from having that mech. The cleave damage from Boogie actually doing some kind of work. But now that mech comes back off cooldown, a lot of the damage is repaired. These Storm Bolts and Burrow Strikes are only stalling the inevitable from Power Rangers, which is this huge attack. The Wrath of Nature bounces through, giving it just enough damage to reach for the Wisp. Have they got another Sentry Ward here? J4's got one. So Trixie can't just hide inside the Sandstorm. But he'll blink and burrow onto General. Needs a little bit of help. He'll send this Ven up in towards the air. There's no BKB, and now the cleave again going to work, but the paralyzing cast from J4 is too much. They just can't keep running after him. Trixie at least gets the Burrow Strike off. Now Boogie finally hits him with some good damage, killing off the General, getting almost 800 gold. Recovery's also going to go down as an unstoppable streak. So much money rolling in here for Stark. They may have lost their bottom ranks, but at least they're getting something back in return. They'll take Big Num as well. They may even have a crack at the mid lane. Varlix is chasing after J4. He's got this stun available. In fact, now with also not enough mana for Wave of Terror,
Here
the
comes
TP
Sand King,
comes
though.
in. Yep. And J4 is going to drop.
Well, I don't think that gets them back in the game, that's for sure, but
It still
It's a
gives,
start.
like, you look how much money they get. Maybe it's going to be
Yeah.
the critical items. Now you get 1,700 over on the SK, 1,500 on the Ember Spirit, and 1,400 on the freaking Sven.
yeah, I mean, that's now like who knows, like the right critical that comes out from the spend when he's got this Chrysalis and soon to be level 3 God Strength.
Yep.
You know, like the right critical at the right
Dire's
time, maybe
bottom
just
tower
like
is under attack.
hit somebody, cleaves the Morphling while he's, you know, high on agility, and he just ends up getting popped for some reason. You know, there's a lot of potential for an amazing upside here for Stark, but ultimately Power Rangers are still in very good control of this game. And they did just get a lane of racks by 25 minutes. The thing is that cripples Stark's economy for the next 20 minutes, right? Like having that bottom lane, you get half the gold from farming that lane, and it's harder to last hit those creeps as well. So it is going to have an impact on Stark, but for now they just gave him a big boost in net worth, and I'm betting if Stark didn't get a fight like that, they would have GG'd out pretty quickly.
Roshan has fallen
So
to the
Roshan
ground.
taken by Power Rangers.
Dire's middle tower is
They
under
try to go
attack.
for a little cute play. Obviously now we've got these global, well, I don't say global, but at least attached to the Aghanim, Scepter, ultis, and Tree Protector. They thought they could go for the Wisp. Except now they lose their Nature's Prophet, who work very aggressively. Cheshire Cat TPing in once again.
Dire's
The second
top
time in the
tower
last
is
5
under
minutes
attack.
he's gone for such a bold play. And this actually wastes time for Power Rangers. They just picked up the
Dire's
Axe.
top
They're
tower is under
desperately
attack.
hunting for just a couple of players from Stark to die, so they can get the advantage in the lane.
Yeah, all they had to do was just push down
Like
mid
this.
or wait for a pickoff.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That's just greedy.
Also really smart from General.
But
But he realized they're going to try and come in to save him, and backed off just the right time when the Orchid had a guaranteed kill.
But that was really greedy of General to of Trixie to push in like that, get spotted by the Invoker, blinks away, and then still tries to farm a wave anyway. Okay, Invoker is super fast. And you don't know whether or not his Ghost Walk, like when he's chasing you down, you don't know if that Ghost Walk is on cooldown. Maybe he just stayed in Ghost Walk for 35 seconds and he can pop it again, you know?
At least they had some kind of vision that they saw General rotating. The Observer and Sentries don't perfectly overlap, but it was still enough that they saw General rotating to the northern side. But the fact that Big Num doesn't have to be in the fight to do what he wants to as well, which is this overgrowth. So you could just have it cover the entire Radiant side of the field. to centering to try and find the trees.
That is. This is a really rough life for supports. This is actually the roughest life that you can kind of have when your team is far enough behind and it's early enough in the game that you can't afford a gem. So you have to actually use sentries to de-ward trees.
Unless you just want to take out tree after tree after tree.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, even if you do use a sentry to kill it, like, he's got it up in 25 seconds. You know, he don't really care. It's not like you get gold or experience out of killing that tree. If anything, you're just wasting tankos. Of course, that's why the Vengeful Spirit got that Quelling Blade.
Yeah.
But
Alright, so Power Rangers. How to push high ground without throwing. This is the lesson that needs to be shown today. Recovery, copying almost every single stun that Stark has, and now they even get the EMP Tornado on the Boogie. Varlix trying to swap him out, and they swap him and they relocate, save Varlix.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
again, on the wrong
Radiant's
page.
middle
Only use
tower
one of your
has fallen.
saves. Never use one.
Well, they tried, and now recovery, and they're still initiating onto the hero who's got the Aegis the Immortal. Like, he's happy to tank this. Now he waveform dodges one of the stuns. He replicates himself back out again, a little bit further out. There's, he'll actually throw down the ulti from Big Num, slowing down a lot of the timing of this BKB as well as God Strength and another EMP, Cold Snap. Boogie wants to beat into General, but he just can't do it. He's got buyback available, but there's no God Strength and there's no BKB charge available for him. And now Trixie, he tries to go in with the Epicenter. Cheshire Cat, he doesn't have the mech available, but Trixie just gets pushed back out again. Trying to hide himself inside the Sandstorm, but there's too many sentries down for the Dire side. Varlix, he tries to make a play, but the only play he's got is death. GG, well played. Power Rangers take game number one.
That was nasty. Jesus. Power Rangers.
Radiant's middle
I'm still not sure about the Morphling. Just because I felt like a lot of that was General just like running the game, plus the fact that Power Rangers perhaps just had a bit better draft. Like, the Treant Protector got Ags by 25 minutes. There was a really fast Orchid up on the Invoker. I'm not so sure about the Morphling and where he really fits into the carry position right now. Like, when do you pick him over other heroes? But learned something about that BKB at least out of this game. A lot of Morphlings are picking up this Yasha BKB build. So
I'm interested to also keep an eye on like that high level of morph. Like, it was unbelievable how quickly he did that, and then almost using it like an armlet to just keep farming inside the jungle.
Oh yeah,
too.
that was weird.
It was so quirky though.
I was just like, I don't know how many situations this is actually applicable, but okay.
It saved his life on that top gank when he went underneath the tier 2 tower. But yeah, we'll be back after the short break, and stay tuned. I'll see you soon.